Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the BAMF podcast. I am your host, Mike Lafferty, and here is our contractually obligated musical intro. Thank you, folks. I apologize for that, but my parole officer has a son who dabbles in music. It's a long story. But anyway, that delightful musical intro should assure you this is a high-quality, high-production values podcast. Only the finest ethically sourced farm-to-table geeky conversation for your podcast listening pleasure. And tonight, we are blessed to have... oh, hey, Alex. Alex in the contents. In the comments. How you doing, Alex?
But he's here.
I contain multitudes.
Alex can break the law
of get out.
He can be in two places at once.
She-Hulk.
That is Mr. Alex Thomas, the Mutants and Masterminds developer from Granonian Games, here to bestow upon our little dog and pony show a patina of respectability. Alex, thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here with my patina. We'll see how it goes.
And the godfather, the OG of Mutants and Masterminds, if you will, Mr. Steve Kenson is joining us from New England. Steve, how are you doing this fine Sunday evening?
I'm doing all right. It's getting mighty chilly as it does here at night right now, but, doing okay.
All right. And last but not least, the most handsome man in Norman, Oklahoma, and my frequent co-host, Mr. Jacob Blackman. Jacob, good to see you this evening, sir.
Always a pleasure.
So let me set the table before I rush ahead the way I like to do. Mutants and Masterminds has a 4th edition coming out.
Indeed.
I think it might be, is this the 25th anniversary of Mutants and Masterminds, or the 30th?
Next year will be the 25th anniversary.
I remember those. I remember playing Second Ed.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
I remember writing Second Ed, so...
Yeah. But we have a 4th ed coming out. This is great. It's an active, vital rules system setting Freedom City, and cool things are happening. The tiny URL, if you folks are listening to us, perhaps on iTunes, tinyurl.com/mutants4e takes you right to the Kickstarter. They will be launching very, very soon. And over 1,003, a lot of followers. Let's just say it's over 1,000. Leave it at that. I had an after dinner glass of wine and this, Jacob, you have lots of questions about 4E, so I want to let you kick off the conversation with these two clever fellows, and let's find out what's going on with this game.
Well, I don't know about lots of questions, but I should hope to have several questions. So, obviously, the playtest has happened, and
yes,
we got a lot out of that. I am curious how much you can tell us, because I know you have to keep a lot of this secret. How much of this system is different from the playtest, and what might you be able to indicate from that?
I'd say that the playtest had a fairly significant impact as far as that goes. We definitely made some changes and revisions. And I don't know in terms of percentage wise, but, definitely a lot of things changed. So far as that went, from minor stuff like the really specific mechanics of the grab action to more significant stuff like the addition of the leadership skill, which was a very popular option discussed amongst the playtesters, and definitely made it into the final draft.
Yeah, we had some very spirited discussions over on the Atomic Think Tank. That's our Mutants and Masterminds community web space. Steve was very diligent in getting through everything, and there was a lot of opinions and thoughts and tweaks. And yeah, I'm excited with how engaged the playtest process was for moving from the first iteration to what we're at now.
Excellent. So yeah, there were a significant amount of the new, leadership feats or leadership advantages. And so, how many of those are we still progressing with those, and are they still going to be limited by power level with this edition?
Command advantages are still in 4th edition. They are no longer limited by power level. A thing that was fairly universally hated by the playtesters. And there are slightly fewer of them, but there's still a pretty modest amount. And the leadership skill makes up for the difference as far as that goes. So sorry, go
are they
ahead,
still
Alex.
limited by presence?
No, they are not, as I recall. So leadership combined with some of the command advantages kind of are the sort of suitable things for what we call leadership styles in the game, where we talk about different approaches for characters who are, leader or encouraging, leader or cheerleader types, who are leading or encouraging their teammates.
All right.
Hey, can I pop in with a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So the Mutants and Masterminds 4th Ed edition, Playtest Origin Edition, is still available on the website for about $45. If I pick that up, do I get some kind of bonus when the Kickstarter happens as an existing backer or customer or 4th Ed guy, or is it just, hey, thanks for helping us out with the playtest and back to Kickstarter?
Green Ronin is planning on providing a small discount for folks who have chipped in on the playtest edition on the Kickstarter, as far as that goes. And if folks are interested, obviously, the Origin Edition is still very playable and is a complete game unto itself. It's sort of our 3.5 edition. So it in addition to its interest as a sort of historical item, it definitely will give folks who have been involved in the playtest by picking up the Origin Edition will be getting a discount.
All right, that's pretty cool. Can I ask you guys, Steve, you can go first, and Alex, if that's okay. What aspects, what new things in 4E are you guys personally most excited about?
Gosh, there's a lot. I am really happy with the reaction mechanics and a lot of the stuff that we've been able to build off of those. I am really happy with the stuff we're working on, and folks will get a preview of it, of some of the stat block revisions and the like. We do have a number of short preview PDFs planned for the Kickstarter, and folks will get a closer look at some of that.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas.
Well, Mike and Jacob, you guys got to play a little bit of the Origin playtest with me, so it's probably no surprise that I'm most excited about the Menace villains. The sort of upgraded mastermind level character who there's a lot of fun ways that we're trying to break the deadlock of action economy between supervillains and superheroes. So you don't wind up with what I call the Office Space problem of everybody just jumping on one supervillain and beating them down mid monologue.
That was going to be one of the questions I had, is for major solo villains, how is that going to be handled there?
Yeah, and the cool thing about Menace is it's not something that's linked to the power level. It's not something that, the same villain doesn't have to be a menace every time if they're in a different context. It's just something you can apply to any villain when you need them to be able to step up, or when they need a little bit of an oomph in a certain situation.
Yeah. as Alex has pointed out, one of the interesting sort of side effects of the menace mechanics is because it's predicated on how many actions each side of the conflict gets. The more you take out a menace's minions, the tougher they get, because they get essentially those actions back.
So it's like the rule of exponential ninja. The more
It is,
ninja
in
they are,
fact.
the weaker they are. But if you're fighting only one ninja, it's going to be the most powerful ninja
You have ever
faced.
encountered. Exactly.
Yeah. And the couple of times that I've play tested menaces in my own games, it's been interesting. Like, do we take the menace out first, or do we try to diminish the amount of minions they have? Because if you go for them first, they can use those minions as meat shields to absorb some of the impact that's coming there's a strategic element to it that I think is it makes an interesting cadence to a combat, because a lot of RPG combats tend to fizzle out near the end, in my experience, where this is there's a lot of there's an engagement the whole way through that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah, that can you want it to feel dynamic and cinematic, and not the HP reduction slog you can have sometimes. And, we have a commenter. Guys, help me out here. How do you want to say that?
It's Rosaders.
Okay, Rosaders Tube. Popping in to say hi. The Menace villain where Alex GM'd a one-shot I played in was so cool. Well, thank you very much. And those are very cute ears you have.
Yeah, Rosie is one of the participants, and we'll have an actual play to post on the Kickstarter when it goes live, as an example of gameplay.
Yeah, so folks can see the game in action. Alex ran a game that we recorded, so.
Yeah, sweet.
Spectacular.
Jacob,
Doc Simeon in a giant drill submarine that turns into a transformer. So I'm sure.
Right.
I know for sure Jacob has some interest.
You Doc Simeon and Transformers. I'm in. So I'm definitely gonna be watching that.
Really? And robots that are also vehicles? What? Right, Jacob, watch me. I am tagging you in, sir.
Oh my! Yes, I'm very excited. Okay, so obviously, Green Ronin needs to make their money, but as a third-party publisher who has a vested interest in Mutants and Masterminds for the products that I make, will there be a open game license, and how soon do you think that will be applied when the game is finally released?
There will be licensing. The plan is for there to be a two-tiered license. There's going to be a free license that is very much like the Superpowered by M&M license, but will be somewhat adjusted because Mutants and Masterminds 4th is not using the open game license, but will have its own separate licensing structure.
Okay.
But the free license will essentially do the same thing, where you'll be able to use the system to produce your own products, and we want to make sure that that license is available for all of our third-party publishers. We're also working on adding M&M content to our community content program license, so that folks will be able to open up a license where folks can also produce content for the Earth Prime setting, using our characters and art and IPs and the like to do their own products based on that through the community content program.
Yes, sort of M&M multiverse of Earth
Yes,
Prime.
we're calling it Mutants and Masterminds Multiverse.
That excites me.
It has a lot of fun potential.
Oh, the things I can do with Dakotaku.
And hopefully the plan is that the licensing programs will be in place by the time the game releases.
Yeah, Christopher McLaughlin's been talking to me about a project he wants to do with that sort of deal. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I love Dakotaku. He's such a fun little nerd.
Yeah, me too.
That pretty much fills the questions that I had. So, like I said, it's not. I didn't have too many, but I thought they were pretty poignant for my own position.
So what's new with Freedom City?
Yeah.
All right. So, like the previous editions, Mutants and Masterminds Heroes Handbook, which is the core of the game and will be the thing that's funding on the Kickstarter, along with a couple of ancillary add-on products, is the core game system. There's not going to be any setting material, as with the previous rule books, in the Heroes Handbook. However, we are working on a relaunch of the Earth Prime setting to go for 4th edition that is going to see some revisions. And one of our intended stretch goals for the Kickstarter is what we're currently calling the Earth Prime Gazetteer, I think, which will be a short overview introduction of the Earth Prime setting for folks, new and old, that will cover a lot of the highlights and hopefully get into sort of the essential things we're planning on working on including.
Yeah, I'm curious because 2nd edition you focused very much on Freedom City, whereas 3rd edition you kind of focused more on Emerald City. If one of the plans is to do a new and different city as the major focus for 4th edition.
Not as such. We do have essentially 3 big settings with Pharaohburg, which is going to be included in Vigilante's Handbook, and will also be a part of the Earth Prime setting as sort of our, dark and gritty street level characters setting. And we have a lot of sort of micro settings in Earth Prime North America that we want to cover as options for M&M games that range from sort of spooky New England Gothic to Alex's oversight on the Pinewood setting, which is sort of Midwestern strangeness. So there are going to be a lot of, I think, a lot of fun options for folks.
Yeah, kind of what if Gravity Falls was in the Ohio River Valley instead of
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest.
Oh, you captured me right there. I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's been watching that obsessively here lately.
Is it the
Good show.
first time? Because if so, they are in for a treat.
All right, cool. I guess this is a good time to ask about other license settings. You guys have worked with so many with Mutants and Masterminds, including one of the big 2, DC and Valiant. Go ahead.
Valiant Adventures is wrapping up in production now. And folks should be seeing, the backers for the Valiant Kickstarter should probably be seeing the PDF products relatively soon, once all the approvals are in place. Valiant is a somewhat earlier iteration of the M&M rules, so it's in a transitional spot between 3rd and 4th, so it stands alone on its own as its own thing, which works out fine because Valiant, amongst other things, has much more lethal damage rules, for example, than we included in 4th edition.
Yeah.
And
I'd say it's got some of the iterations from 4th, but with an idea of being, accommodating that specific setting and its particular gruesomeness that we don't want necessarily in Earth Prime as vanilla.
Right. And so folks will be getting those 2 books, the Valiant Heroes Handbook and the Worlds of Valiant book, setting book, relatively soon. And then they'll go to print as well. As far as that goes, that's pretty much it for licenses for M&M right now. our DC license, of course, expired long ago, and Marvel is quite tied up with their own game system at this point.
Yeah.
So there aren't any plans for any
Mhm.
further licenses at this moment, but we have our hands full with producing, our planned products for the core M&M line, for the next, well, basically, we've got stuff planned out for the next 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah, it's not really a license per se, but my Titan City stuff's coming to M&M.
yes,
Ooh.
indeed. And I'm looking forward to that.
Wait, say that again.
Alex's Titan City setting, the setting
Oh!
that we did
That's
in
how we
our
played it, yeah.
playtest.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's a good setting. I like that.
It is. I'm really looking forward to folks getting a broader look at that setting.
Mhm.
Me too.
For those
just in my brain.
For those who are not familiar with Titan setting, with the Titan City setting, it's much more of a supernatural pulp setting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fascinating and fun.
Yeah, it feels a very nice niche for M&M, and that's how I started my Mutants and Masterminds journey, was creating that setting 15 years ago, and iterating on it over and over and over again since then. So I think it'll be a fun bit of difference from four-color superheroes. It's an example of the way the Mutants and Masterminds engine can work for a lot of different styles of story, not just sort of high-flying superhero antics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Folks who want to get sort of a little sneak preview of Titan City can check out. We have 2 Titan City set Astonishing Adventures available for Mutants and Masterminds right now. And you can take a look at those to get a sense of, they're set in 2 slightly different periods of Titan City. One is pre World War II and one is during World War II. And you can get a sense of a little bit more of a sense of what the setting is like.
Would those be on the Green Ronin site or on Drive-Thru RPG or both?
They should be on both, as I understand it.
All right, cool. So search for Titan City Mutants and Masterminds on either.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the Lost Library and
The Jordanelle Mystery.
And Jordanelle Mystery. Thank you.
All right, cool. That is really fun. All right, so every Kickstarter these days in the RPG space, someone's going to ask it. So we'll be the first one. What about VTT support?
We are working on some options so far as that goes, but the core issue with VTT support is both the character sheet that supports all the game mechanics and the compendium that contains all of the game mechanics. And both of them are really significant undertakings in terms of just programming work and setup, and especially for a game like M&M that has a lot of material. Compendium on a VTT site is a lot of work. So we have an understanding with a third-party group that is working on a VTT implementation. They are probably going to be doing their own separate production on that. So it's not going to be a part of this crowdfunder as far as that goes. In terms of being a tier or a stretch goal, it is something we have in the works, but it's something that we felt was best to be handled separately. So it's...
Well, I'm looking at your Kickstarter page, and one that jumps out at me is streamlined character creation. I know for a long time that's been something people talk about Mutants and Masterminds is now I will say in third ed, I know John Lighthouser and you guys came up with a random character generation, which was a lot of fun to work with.
Yes.
But this looks like go ahead.
And we've essentially iterated that random character generator into a series of archetypes inspired by some of Crystal Fraser's work on Basic Heroes Handbook, so that the core 15 archetypes in the book have a series of options, basically, where you pick the archetype, you pick the package of abilities, and you pick your options for feats, for skills and advantages and the like, and the power package you want. And you can basically build a character from one of those archetypes in 15 minutes. Fairly easily. Some of the archetypes obviously will have a lot more options than others. Some have, for example, the Mystic archetype only has 2 power packages, but their spellcaster power package has a whole long list of spell options that go in their spellcasting array. And so there's a lot of variability there, whereas the Metamorph archetype only has 3 power packages that are a little bit more fixed, but their power packages are basically being stretchy, being able to shrink, or being able to grow. So they're very distinct, and you create very different characters depending on where you go with that. So the 15 archetypes themselves build out into easily 60 or 70 different characters.
Okay, so that kind of gets us into almost a rules light, playing space where you can open the book, all your characters be playing in half an hour without having to have a whole session 0 just for character generation. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
all of the complexity is still there for players who want to engage with that, but I think we've done a really good job of making the on-ramp more accessible.
Yeah,
and I think that's an important thing, especially when trying to get new players into it, or you want to do a one-shot at a convention or that kind of thing. Just
I've brought some of my experience to Steve with most of the time I start a new group in M&M, I've got to make all the characters before we sit down to play so they see that the game is fun and easy. And then they're hooked and they're like, okay, now I can get to this point buy thing. That buy-in is one of the biggest things that was at least in my mind, with helping develop what we've been working on.
Yeah, I agree.
And I see a friend of the show and Green Arrow artist, among other properties for the big 2, Mr. Sean Isaac is doing a wraparound cover for the book. So.
Yes, I am a big fan. We worked with Sean back in the early days of 3rd edition, and he did a number of illustrations for Threat Report and a few other M&M source books. And of course, Sean is a tremendously talented artist who's now a big-time comic book artist. And when we were initially talking about new cover art for the new edition, I was like, well, my dream choice is Sean Isaacs, but I don't think we can afford him anymore because he's a big-time comic book artist now. And Hal was like, well, we can ask, and he was like, and he asked, and Sean was like, yeah, I'll totally do it, so I am thrilled, and he really knocked the wraparound cover design out of the park.
It is beautiful. It is a fantastic cover.
Yeah, I'm sharing from Sean's Instagram page. This is an homage to 90s comics that he worked up one day. Just beautiful line work on that. So,
yeah,
I'm glad he's involved in doing your guys' cover. But yeah, Sean's a great guy. We have him on the show a few times. He's always been over his light table, working very hard there in South Africa. So he's a good guy.
Yeah, I really love all the costume designs that he put up for some of the Freedom Leaguers, and I like some of the redesigns that were there, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Sean did. For the cover, he would have done costume design. That makes sense. Okay. I look forward to seeing.
Captain Thunder looks great.
Yep, I think so.
Where can I see this cover? Is this publicly available, or did Jacob just get a peek from somebody?
It's on. There's a bit of it on the Kickstarter page.
Oh, it's already here. I didn't realize this was Sean's. Okay.
Yeah, if you see the top banner on the Kickstarter page, that is the cover art.
Well, let me share that out then. Okay, that's cool. I hadn't realized this was all right. Cool, nice.
No, it's just the scene is so evocative. It just screams superheroes. The bright color costumes, all the power effects going on. I could easily see this on any of the big name comics covers, but Sean Isaac. So
And for the record, for the Bowman Brigade, Bowman has not been Mike Wazowski on the cover. He is fully there.
No. Yes.
He's just not in the banner.
Bowman is on the far left of the cover, so he's cropped out in this image. But folks will see mock-ups of the full wraparound cover when the Kickstarter launches, and will include him in all of his glory.
Yeah, my regular Bowman player shared a meme of Mike Wazowski. He's like, "I'm on the cover."
Nice. All right, that's very cool. Anything else we want to make sure people know coming up on this Kickstarter?
We are going to have a number of add-ons as far as that goes. I personally, as a M&M player and game master, looking forward to. We're going to be making some fun hero point tokens, and we're planning on making a reaction token for players that basically has a red and a green side. So you can flip the token when you use your reaction and you've used it for the turn. And then you can flip it back to green at the start of your turn so that you have your reaction back. It's easy for people like me who oftentimes did I do my reaction this turn? Was that last turn? And it's just easy to keep track. It's also an easy visual way for the game master to look at the table and see who still has a reaction available. Especially if there's an opportunity for somebody to use it, to be like, hey, you haven't used your reaction yet. Do you want to do a thing? And we've got the condition cards, which are a great resource to keep track of character conditions and to have the game mechanics right on them so you know what all the modifiers are for the conditions that the character is under. And we're working up our usual Game Masters kit with a screen with some, the fantastic Sean Isaacs art, and with a Game Master journal and reference cards and all of that. And I think I've hit most of the highlights.
There's a couple cool experience ones. You can. There's a certain tier where you can get your character art done for the book.
Yes.
In the Hero's Handbook. And you can work with our interior designer, Hal Mangold, who I think is a friend of the show, to get a character designed and put in the new rulebook. And there's a tier for 25 people if they want to play a game with me, if they're feeling like trying a new 4th edition adventure supplement. So lots of cool physical things and experiential things, and lots of fun discussions about what to do when this Kickstarter explodes.
Yeah, exactly.
So now my mind is reeling. It's like, so I select the tier where I get one of my characters put into the Freedom City universe and try to coerce Hal Mangold to hire me to draw my character.
I think it's possible, Jacob.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if this has been announced yet, but Jacob's doing some wonderful work for the Vigilantes Handbook for us right now.
Indeed.
I was not going to say because I was unsure if I was still under NDA.
Yeah, Jacob has been mentioning he has a project he's excited about, but he won't tell me what it is. But I guess the cat's out of the bag. Mr. Scott Crossan, who is at Darknet, says, will the Atomic Skull return?
Well, probably not, because the Atomic Skull is a DC Universe character who is a Superman villain. You may be thinking of a character called the Atomic Brain, who appeared in the first edition of Mutants and Masterminds, and unfortunately the answer is no. Because the Atomic Brain and all of the characters of the Metaphor setting that was presented in Crooks in the first edition of the game are under license from the folks at Super Unicorn, the studio that designed those characters. They have certain rights to those characters still, and so Green Ronin does not own them, and it takes a whole licensing arrangement for us to use them in our own products. So the answer is probably no, unfortunately. I love the Atomic Brain. He's a super fun character.
Yeah, just,
and so
one of the best
iconic.
characters.
Yeah, I would love to use him, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah,
All right,
at least
cool.
it's not Chimera. That Chimera character, for metaphor,
Chimera really disturbs Alex. So
Really?
Okay. He's a supervillain who can vomit any liquid. That's his power. Super.
Yep.
No, the Bestiary I thought was always a really good villain team from that era. There were so many interesting characters from that setting. So it is a shame to hear you can't use them, but I understand the logistics.
Yeah.
So I've heard some concerning casting news. Are we really talking about Keanu for Bowman for the eventual Netflix series? Is that accurate?
It's either going to be Keanu or Henry Cavill, because that's all who Hollywood seems to be going for these days.
Yeah. Sadly, Keanu would only be
Pedro Pascal.
good for the elder Bowman at this point.
Okay. Ryan Reynolds is Johnny Rocket. Any truth to that?
I have thoughts,
Okay.
but no.
Danny DeVito as the voice of Omega. That's going too far. I should stop now, right? Okay.
It's like the Bryan Sanderson deal that was just struck, where he got full creative control. It's like, if you had full creative control, who would you hire for the Freedom City setting movie or streaming show?
That's a good question. Honestly, if it were entirely up to me and we were doing a show of some kind, it would be an animated series. But
yes.
I mean, as much as I love a good live action superhero movie, I still think that animation is where it's at. For
superheroes, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And
voice actors give you so many more options.
Well, yeah, you could have James Corden. Wouldn't have to. You know what? I am prepared to do about 90 seconds to 5 minutes of celebrity jokes about various Freedom City characters, but I'm going to stop myself before I go down the rabbit hole. I just appreciate the willpower I'm spending right now to not try to suggest Jared Leto and Tommy Wiseau for various.
Your self-control is an example to us all, Mike.
I try, sir.
I wish Ray Stevenson was still with us so he could play Arctic Fox.
Oh, that would be great.
So he could play who?
Arctic Fox. He's a super villain from Rogues Gallery.
Okay.
Created by our own Alex Thomas.
Yeah, he follows me around. He haunts me.
It's true.
All right. Oh, hey, another question from Scott. Will the new Gazetteer be a soft reboot of the setting?
Yes, indeed it will. You are definitely going to see some revisions to Earth Prime.
Is it? Are we staying like in the same timeline that we're familiar with, say from third edition?
New timeline.
All right. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, are the characters like Spider-Man's always about 30 years old? Is it that kind of situation?
Well, we're probably going to be moving to that kind of situation. As it has been, Earth Prime has essentially progressed at the same rough rate, as real time. And had I known that I was going to be still working on the setting 25 years later, I would have not done that. So we are going to be, and honestly, just the very fact that the setting is well over 20 years old, it shows its age in some spots. It has built up a lot of continuity over the years, and it can stand a refresh in a lot of regards. So we are going to be taking the very best elements of Earth Prime and remixing them into something that will be both classic and kind of new.
Mhm.
Okay, that's very interesting. So looking forward to see what happens in Freedom City.
Yeah,
Me too.
some of the new Crime League members are in the actual play adventure that's going to be on the Kickstarter page. If you want a little sneak peek about what the Crime League's been up to in
Yeah.
the new Earth Prime.
Cool. All right. Well, Jacob, I'll give you the last word or last question if you have any thing you're still wondering about.
Okay. Licensing is always a problematic venture, but
Mhm.
with the new fourth edition, if you had a dream license to engage, who would you choose? And this is for generally everyone. I'm gonna start myself. If there was a fourth edition dream license that I could see, considering it's the anniversary and considering the new movie is about to come out, I would love to see Masters of the Universe as a Mutants and Masterminds setting, because it looks like a fantasy setting, but Mutants and Masterminds is superheroes, and Masters of the Universe is superheroes, because He-Man is super strong. Skeletor is a big powerful wizard, and Clawful has his whole gimmick going on, and all these characters are very specific superheroes and supervillains with their own powers. So I would love to see that as a setting.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Cool.
What are your choices if you had a dream license?
If money was not an issue and Disney was not an issue, I really enjoy using Mutants and Masterminds to play Star Wars. I use that to basically do sort of Old Republic style game, like the Old Republic MMO style games, where Jedi and troopers and agents are all together and all relatively still useful as a group. And I think that's something that M&M does really well, because Batman and Superman can be on the same team, and Iron Man and Thor and Black Widow can all be on the same team and still everybody feels good. Like, it's not the Jedi's the only one who can do things that are useful. Everybody can be useful in Mutants and Masterminds, and I really like running Star Wars games in this engine personally.
I have to agree that it works very well.
Yeah.
My roommate Tom, the last Star Wars game he ran was in Mutants and Masterminds, and it was spectacular.
Nice. I don't know. I think on one level it would be the completist in me would love to do a Marvel game with the Mutants and Masterminds engine, just for some of the character design stuff would be fun. But I also, this is like really inside baseball, but I would also be super happy if Green Ronin got the license to a bunch of old champions or villains and vigilantes adventures, and we got to redo those in Mutants and Masterminds.
Oh, that would be fun.
And
Day of the Destroyer, Island of Dr. Destroyer. That would be fun.
I mean, and just sort of reintroduce those, but and it would just be an opportunity to do the M&M versions of that sort of thing.
That would
be a cool project, like if a bunch of games got together and made an adaptation of each other's adventures.
Yeah.
Like a free RPG day thing or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, you can always ask. I mean, I never thought Kevin Siemba would let anybody touch Rifts, but there's a Savage Worlds version.
Yeah, but Savage Worlds Rifts exists.
Yeah, and it sells well. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, guys. Well, shall we call it a show? We're about 45 minutes in.
Mike, so what's your dream license?
What's the dream license?
If you could have any license beyond 4th edition, well, what would you love to see?
I have to phrase this so I don't piss off anybody who might already have a license for.
Oh, kitty!
Oh, look at Alex's cat. That is awesome. Let me go with something safe. I would love to see Disney's Gargoyles.
Hell yeah!
Oh, well done, sir.
Yes. Indeed, well played. Well,
it's a fun setting. It's a specific kind of vibe that not many other things scratch. It's street level, but there's also supernatural, and it's goth, but it's also actiony. I don't know. It just
Gargoyles is 100% a superhero setting.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it lets me do my Will Weicker impression as a GM, so that could.
Thanatos is a great character.
I've been thinking about turtles a lot lately, but everyone's got there's someone's doing a Mork Borg adaptation of turtles right now. So
really, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's called literally Turtles Borg or something. It's doing well on Kickstarter, so it seems like people do all these things for Mork Borg, and I'm like, did you guys read Mork Borg? It's a very dark system, but they convert it for all kinds of things. So
well, gamers.
Yeah,
that's true. So
I mean, the conversation we just had is trying to put a square peg in a round hole.
Right.
You got me excited about Star Wars Mutants and Masterminds, so that sounds like fun. So
it is.
Yeah, I've run a few convention games, one shots and things like that using M&M for Star Wars, and it's always a good time. You gotta have the right group of people. I ran a holiday special called "The Day Hondo Stole Life Day."
Nice.
Well, along that lines, if I'm allowed to toot my own horn for a bit, was probably going to be the last third edition Superpowered Legends product. I'm just wrapping up the manuscript for Superpowered Legends in Space. We've seen the first little bit of it with the solar system product that I just put out, but this will expand to the greater Milky Way galaxy and all the cosmic stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jacob, I should have mentioned that you're one of the most prolific third-party creators of Masterminds content.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going to convert your SPL line, Superpowered Legends line, over to 4th Ed?
When they make the license available, 100%. I fully intend to bring Superpowered Legends to 4th edition.
Awesome.
Because this would be a crowdfunding kind of thing.
Just looking at the rules from the play test, I very much like the look of 4th edition. So I am literally just waiting for the final rules to come out and the license to go live so I can start typing. I am over here waiting.
I love the stuff you do, Jacob. Even though you scooped us on Super Pets.
Oh,
right. We don't hold it against you.
No. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you were able to get it out. I'm glad that there's a way to play it because it's such a.
That was a fun book.
It is.
So good.
All right, guys. Well, hey, pleasure talking to you, folks. One more time. If you want to check out the Kickstarter, if you want some Masterminds 4th Ed, we have a kind of URL we made up because we are consummate professionals here. It's tinyurl.com/mutants4e will take you right there. Over 1,300 followers. I couldn't say that top of the show, but I'm saying it now. Check it out. Jump on the bandwagon. This is a good time. It's launching so soon. I mean,
2 days.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So jump on now. Take the whole ride. There's going to be all kinds of stretch goals. I'm 100% positive. So, on that happy note, guys, thanks for coming out. This was a lot of fun. Jacob, always a pleasure being with you.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone out there, we will catch you next time on the BAMF Podcast.
Good night, everybody.